What's up, guys? My name's Rener Gracie. I'm here in northern Pennsylvania, where I'll be teaching a police instructor certification course for the next 5 days, starting tomorrow morning. Now, I need to tell you a story. This morning at 7:30 a.m., I left LAX on an airplane. At 11:30 p.m., I landed in Pittsburgh, at Pittsburgh International Airport. We had a ridiculous layover in Chicago, 2 hours, ended up being 5 hours. And when we landed in Pittsburgh, there was a thunderstorm. So we landed the plane. The pilot tells us that we can't get off the plane until 15 minutes after the last lightning bolt strikes. So the lightning kept striking. We kept counting the minutes. An hour or so later, we finally got off the plane. Now, even though I spent over 12 hours traveling across the country, making it probably the single worst domestic travel day of my life, I'm very thankful because one of my best friends, Brian Azor, owns a farm here in Beaver, Pennsylvania, the town very close to where I'll be teaching the seminar. And on this farm, he has a guest house, a secluded guest house. And he offered to let me stay in this guest house for the week while I'm teaching the seminar. And that's where we are right now. Now, on the ride from the airport here to the room tonight, I realized I had another problem. In these secluded towns in Pennsylvania, restaurants aren't open at 11:30 at night, 12 o'clock at midnight. So while driving to the guest house here, I realized that I had nothing to eat. And that was a very serious issue. I hadn't eaten since Chicago, 12 o'clock, noon or something. So I'm starving. And when I arrived here, to my extreme delight, my friend Brian prepped the place and made sure that we had the essentials to make dinner. And of course, you probably would have guessed it, he made sure that we had a beautiful watermelon waiting. The single most pleasant surprise one could have after the worst travel day of their entire life. Now, I found the watermelon and I realized we had another problem. We don't have a blender, which is an essential component in making watermelon juice, which of course would be the best beverage I could have right now with my dinner, with the other foods that he stored up and stocked the house with for me. So realizing that I don't have a blender, but of course I brought my Gracie juice bag. There's no doubt about that. And not knowing whether or not he would have a knife in here, I brought my own knife with a handmade, homemade sheath. Realized I didn't have a juicer. I have to make the juice without the juicer, which is a very serious problem. But we have an amazing strategy, and that's what you're going to learn tonight. So since I have to make my watermelon juice, you might as well learn in the process. Now here's what we need. You need some type of bowl or bucket to catch the juice in when you squeeze it through the juice bag. I found this cooking pot. It's a perfect size. It'll work just fine. Okay, anything smaller probably wouldn't do so good. Now, you might be wondering, well, how are we going to make juice out of all this right here? Secret component. Now, I don't know if Brian washed the melon, so I'm going to wash it real quick. Stand by. So you guys, I'm going to teach you the gorilla juicing technique for watermelon. After you wash the watermelon, you cut it open. Wow, beauty! Couldn't be more perfect. Check it out. Of course, when you make your watermelon juice, whether it be in a hotel, at a friend's house without a blender, as long as you have your juice bag, you can follow this strategy. Find some type of bucket and make it work. Now check it out. Here's where it gets amazing. These large chunks of watermelon that most people would just eat like this, and there's no problem with eating it like this. No problem. But watermelon juice, as we know, is the most amazing beverage on the planet, so we might as well make it. Now here's the deal. We have a bag full of watermelon pieces, a bucket, and an amazing strategy to make this watermelon into juice. Check it out. I'm going to begin to grind here using my fists. That's what we give it the name, the gorilla watermelon juicing strategy, because we use the fist like a gorilla who walks on his fists. Turn it and smash it. Turn it and smash it. Smash it. This is called the gorilla strategy for two reasons. Number one, we use our fists. Number two, you do this often enough and you get gorilla strength. So as you can see here, in only probably less than a minute of smashing it with your fists, you end up with an amazing quantity of perfect watermelon juice. The reason this works with the juice bag is because the juice bag is very durable. It's very strong material. And the juice seeps through the holes, but the pulp stays in. So now we're left with just the pulp in here and a bucket full of juice. I like to put this on the shell here to keep it from touching the sink top. Keep this clean. The rest of the watermelon is good. Now we have a bucket full of juice. I don't want to drink it out of here, so I'll put it in some type of pitcher. Let me see what we got. Here's a glass. I don't know where everything is in this house. This might work for the pitcher. I don't know how long this has been here. We should rinse it out. This will do just fine. Check it out. Look. Beautiful. Unbelievable. If I could have any beverage on the whole planet after a long day travel, this would be it. I have some other stuff in here. Brian was kind enough to equip the house with some toast, some bread, some raisin bread, some cheeses, stuff that we normally have, and a Gracie sweet meal dinner. So with the watermelon juice and that, I'm set, good to go. Of all the meals on the planet that I could have had upon my arrival, he planned for the best one, had my watermelon ready. And that's all you guys need. So you guys, juice bag, take it with you wherever you go, those of you who have it. You travel, hotel life, sometimes that's the worst part of travel. I love traveling to teach. The problem is the food on the road doesn't compare to what I have back home. Unless, of course, I bring this puppy along. You guys keep it real, keep it Gracie, keep it watermelon. See you next time. Turn it and smash it. Turn it and smash it.
Go.
What's up, guys? My name's Rener Gracie.